If you're a career changer or even a new graduate with basically no professional experience yet, I bet you assume that blank work history is the thing that's going to sink your LinkedIn profile before anyone even considers you. That fear makes sense. It's also completely fixing the wrong problem first. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to fix instead. Here's the actual issue with most zero experience profiles. They're built around what's missing instead of what's actually there. And I promise you, there's more real material to work with than it feels like right now. It just needs to be organized differently than a traditional resume style profile assumes it should be. So let's start with your headline, because it's doing way more work than most people realize. If you're using LinkedIn's default, your current job title, or student at whatever university, you're wasting the single most visible piece of real estate on your entire profile. Recruiters scan headlines before they ever click into a full profile. A generic one gives them nothing to click for. A stronger headline states a direction, plus a credential or a project in progress. Something like aspiring SOC analyst, security plus in progress, building a home lab. Compare that to recent graduate or looking for opportunities. That second version tells the recruiter absolutely nothing they can act on. The first one tells them exactly what to search for the next time they're filling a role. Now, your about section. The common instinct here is to open by explaining the gap. Something like, I don't have direct security experience yet, but I'm eager to learn. That framing puts your weakness first, and it asks the reader to look past it. Nobody reads past an opening line that sounds like an apology. A stronger version leads with direction and something specific. What are you actually building right now? What problem are you trying to solve for an employer? And one or two concrete details that prove real engagement, not just interest. Talk about your home lab project, your certification path, your capture the flag platform you're actively grinding through. That tells completely a different story than a vague statement of enthusiasm. Something specific is what separates someone who's generally doing the work from someone who just likes the idea of the field. Here's the single highest leverage move on this entire list, and it's the one almost everyone skips. Your experience section does not require a job. A documented home lab project, a completed Capture the Flag challenge series, a personal blog post explaining security concepts, a relevant class project. All of these can go into their own entries, written the same exact way you write a job description. What you did, what tools you used, what was the outcome? This does two things at once. It fills a section that would otherwise look empty next to someone else's job history, and it gives the recruiter something concrete to actually ask you about in an interview, which is a much better position to be in than hoping the interview never gets anywhere near the experience question. An in-progress certification belongs on your profile, clearly labeled as in progress, not implied as complete. Recruiters and applicant tracking systems both search by keyword, and a certification listed honestly as in progress still shows up in those searches. Leaving it off entirely means missing that visibility altogether. And your skills section is worth curating on purpose, instead of just accepting whatever LinkedIn auto suggests. List the specific tools and platforms that actually match your roles that you're targeting, not some broad generic list. A recruiter searching LinkedIn's talent database is often filtering by exact skill matches. An empty activity feed, no posts, no comments, nothing, quietly signals inactivity to anyone who checks your profile before reaching out. This does not require some huge content strategy. Commenting thoughtfully on a few posts from people in your target field, sharing a genuine reaction to an article, writing a short post about something you learned recently. All of that creates a visible signal that you're a real, active person paying attention to the field, not a static profile that just exists as a placeholder. A profile with no photo gets dramatically less engagement, full stop. That holds true across pretty much every study on this. It doesn't need to be professionally shot. It needs to be clear, well lit, and approachable. And your banner image, which most people leave as the default blue background, is free real estate for a second impression. A simple graphic naming your target role does more than nothing at all. None of this manufactures experience you don't have. What it does is organize the real effort you're already putting in, your home lab, your certification, your actual engagement with the field, into a format a recruiter is actually trained to scan for. A zero experience profile built this way does not read as empty. It reads as someone early in a deliberate, visible process. That is generally a different impression than a profile that stays in effect, not yet. I wrote a full breakdown of this blog this week. Links in the description if you want to walk through every section in more detail, of course. And if you're still figuring out which direction actually fits, you before you build all of this out, that's exactly what Career Vectors is built to help with. Links below too. I want to know, what's one thing on your LinkedIn profile that you changed or wish you'd known to change back when you were starting out. Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for more of this every week, and I'll see you in the next one.